أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. So, yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the Caliphate of Hazrat Muslim Maud Radiyallahu Anhu. And, you know, it was under his great leadership that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community progressed by leaps and bounds. And his period of Caliphate was full of unusually great achievements and landmarks that demonstrated divine help. And to talk about this, you know, he's done so many things in his period of Caliphate. Does anybody remember? We just heard about it. How long that period of Caliphate was? Yes. 52 years. That's right. Now, 52 years is a pretty good amount of time. It's half a century. You know, it's no 5-10 years. This is 52 years, and in that amount of time, you know, if his birth was so amazing, his life was just as amazing. And the time of his Caliphate was amazing as well. So instead of me doing a speech as far as, you know, just listing the facts chronologically of this 52-year period in 15 minutes, let's kind of have a conversation. Let's talk about what comes to your mind when you think about the Caliphate of Muslim Maud Radiyallahu Anhu. You know, there's so many schemes, so many different things that you know, he's done. So what comes to mind? Let's talk about that and we'll go from there. And Lajna and Nasrat are also invited. I'm going to pass this mic around. So I do encourage your participation. This is going to be less of a speech and more of a conversation. So let's try this out. I'm just going to grab the mic. Sorry, guys. Okay, first thing. What do we want to talk about for the first thing? Who wants to go first? Yes.
My object is...
Who wants to go next? After you. Go ahead.
After me?
Yes. Muslim, what comes to your mind?
My mind was about the full name.
Full name. Okay.
Yeah. I can do it.
Okay, we'll get back to you later. So who wants to, you know, what's a scheme that we can talk about, or what's, yes?
Tariqa Jadid.
Okay. So who wants to talk about Tariqa Jadid? What is Tariqa Jadid? Go ahead, yeah.
Oh wait, it's like when you sacrifice your time and money to like the Jamaat.
So in 1934, the Tariqa Jadid scheme was launched, and Ahmadis were urged to live a simple life, to make sacrifices in the cause of Islam, and to volunteer their lives for missionary work. These programs are carried out all over the world because of this scheme. So when you think about this scheme, you know, what has been happening all over the world because of Tariqa Jadid? Who wants to elaborate on that? Anybody? Tariqa Jadid. So around the world, what do we see happening because of this scheme?
Because of the scheme, we have this beautiful mosque. It's very big, and because of that, our Jamaat has been growing a lot, and we have so many missionaries. We've been able to do a lot more things with Islam, spread it more efficiently, and
Okay, very good. So because of this innovative scheme, more foreign missions were opened in many countries. Anybody know of any countries that you know were part of this amazing initiative? We know obviously you know there's Africa, but there's also Japan, Burma, France, Spain, Holland, Switzerland, West Germany, Denmark, and then later on in Sweden, and Norway, Fiji, Guyana, so all around the world. I mean, this is no, small thing, right? This is still going on strong. What else? Okay, we've talked about Tariqa Jadid. What else comes to mind when you think of the great accomplishments of this Khilafat, of this time period? And we'll just pass the mic around there.
Waqf Jadid.
Okay, Waqf Jadid. Do you know what that is? Can you elaborate on that?
It's like spreading Islam, like they wanted to spread it to the Hindu countries.
Okay, so India and Pakistan, right? It was the focus of this. In 1957, in December, Huzur announced this novel plan to expand missionary work to educate and impart religious knowledge, religious training to the rural populations areas. And this is obviously something that's still going strong. Anybody else about Waqf Jadid to elaborate on the importance of that? Maybe from anybody from our Ansar who want to participate and talk about more about what does that mean for you? What is Waqf Jadid? When you give Waqf Jadid, what are you thinking about? Why do you do that? Go ahead and pass the mic to you over there, Nate. Oh, they can come up.
Well, I understand. I think it's mainly for going into the remote areas of India, the subcontinent, and to give seed or educate people that are under the influence of Hinduism and so on, to bring them to the right path. I believe that's the reason for what they do.
Right. Anybody else?
Waqf Jadid, as you know, 1957, Huzur started this scheme, and this is in the beginning for the rural areas, Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh also. And in 1984 or 86, Barabe made this scheme internationally. So at this scheme is for all over the world. So main purpose is to those people are rural areas, and also those people are not able to, the new immigrant converts, the Moldamin system, they actually help to those people to educate about the Ahmadiyyat Islam.
So do we remember the dates? Which one came first? Was it the Tariqa Jadid or Waqf Jadid? Who knows? Tariqa Jadid, right. So Tariqa Jadid was 1934, Waqf Jadid 1957. Anything else? What else comes to mind when you think of this Khilafat? Somebody else, we'll come back to you. So who else? I mean, it's pretty easy. We just heard about some of those great accomplishments. Yes, okay, yes.
Assalamu alaikum. I think the translation of Quran that we've all used, especially Americans who have less understanding perhaps of some of the writings, has been used since we were kids all the way through and depended on for understanding of Quran, explanation of Quran, and research. And it's been an amazing impact on our country and internationally. And I think it was a huge help to the Jamaat and to the world, and I think one of the huge accomplishments in his life, especially in my life, that I've used.
Right, and a lot of us, or maybe all of us, can surely benefit from that. I mean, we're not just talking USA, but around the world. I mean, what a great way of tabligh and spreading that message of Islam, the true message of Islam, by having these translations out there so people can understand this in their own mother tongue. And the English translation in commentary, Tafsir al-Kabir, Tafsir al-Sagir, but also translation of 14 other languages were in progress during his Khilafat. So it's very amazing, that this came about. Anything else? So we talked about translations, talked about Waqf Jadid, we talked about Tariqa Jadid. What else? The mosques, mission houses around the world, and this is just an ounce in the ocean of this. So, yes.
I think Hazrat Muslim Maud created the Itfal al-Anbiya, Khudam al-Anbiya, Lajna Ma'ullah, especially for Tarbiyyat. When start from Itfal and then Khudam, Nasrat, and Lajna Ma'ullah. It's very great, helpful for Jamaat, for her Tarbiyat.
Right. For Tarbiyat, for organization.
Yeah.
In fact, can you imagine not being a Atfal, not being a Tifl? You know, what if you were a Khadim or an Ansar? You know, and Nasrat. You know, there's Nasrat, Lajna, Ansar, Qadam, Atfal, all these different organizations. And like Uncle said, you know, it's great for Tarbiyat. You know, to be able to focus and you know, to focus. You're with your peers. You're having meetings and classes. And for your moral training, it's such a great way of learning about Islam and learning with your friends and you know, your age groups and different things like that. So that was a great thing that we're still so strong in right now in our classes and meetings and jalsas and ijtimas and you know, all these other things around the world. Does anybody know which came first out of those organizations? Was it Ansar, Qadam, Atfal, Lajna, Nasrat? Does anybody know? Okay, I hear Ansar. Anybody else?
I think
Lajna?
Atfal.
Atfal, okay. Anybody else? Qadam, okay. Actually, the first one was in December 1922, and that was Lajna. And then next, what was next?
The easiest thing for everybody to remember is ladies first.
Right, exactly. So 1922 Lajna, and then 1938 was Qadam. And then in 1939 was Nasrat, and then Atfal and Ansar were together in 1940. So creating brotherhood and sisterhood, that's another major point regarding that. Anything else about organization of the Jamaat? I mean, that's a major point in organization. How else did he help to mobilize and organize the Jamaat?
I believe the most important thing was Majlis Shura, the governance, the topic of how to govern the Jamaat, and all that. So I believe that's.
So this is what you mentioned in addition to Shura, the Electoral College, the college that is utilized as of today for identifying and nominating the next Khalifa.
Right, right. And different departments as well. You know, Tabligh, Taaleem, Mal, Umur Amma, all this was set up during his Khilafat as well. I did want to give the Lajna a chance if anything comes to their mind or with the Nasrat. Awesome. Go ahead. Hanji, yes.
I